So I better understand, can
Yeah.
you further explain the whole, like, okay, when women say,
Yeah.
I hate men, all men suck, whatever it is,
Yeah.
you give them a bit of grace on that statement. But if a man says, I hate all women, or whatever it is,
Why do women, what teaches women to be afraid of men?
well,
I don't care about that at all. I don't care if a woman has a man. She can still say, I hate men in general. Not every man. If she said, I hate all men and then had a man, I would be like, that's weird. But if she says, I hate men, but not mine, I hate you motherfuckers, I totally understand that. It's so interesting to me how men pretend like they don't understand why women can do certain things that men can't do, while simultaneously being the first people to be like, men and women ain't equal. Like, if men and women are equal, then that means that men are able to do things that women can't do, and women are able to do things that men can't do. That's kind of like the core of what it means to not be equal. Most people are not, who understand, the difference between equity and equality. We're not looking for equality necessarily, even though ultimately that's where you want to get to. Equity leads to equality, right? I gave this example the other day. I was on a live and I said, equity looks like I'm 6 foot tall. I can reach my top shelf easily in my house. I can reach my roof in my house. I got low roofs. I got low ceiling, I guess. I can reach the ceiling in my house or whatever, right? My wife can't. My wife is 5'2". She's 10 inches shorter than me. If she wants to reach the show, she needs a stool that'll allow her to reach, 10 inches up, right? Make her 10 inches taller, essentially. Okay. So if she has a 10-inch stool, now her and I, for the most part, are equal, right? That's what equity looks like. The equitable thing was to give her the stool. Now we're equal. Now I'm 6 foot. Now she's 6 foot. Now I can reach up. Now she can reach up. Right? Now my arms are still longer. You know what I mean? Whatever. But you get what I'm saying. That's what equity leads to equality. You can't have equality without having equity. That's the thing, right? In most cases. But men love to act like, you know, men and women aren't equal. They'll acknowledge that in a heartbeat. But then they'll play dumb and not understand why women can say stuff, why women can do stuff that is frowned upon if a man does it. It happens all the time. It's like men be in competition with women. It's almost like men be in competition with women, but I know it's more nefarious than that. Why would a woman saying this trigger you? I don't understand.
I wouldn't marry ASAP Rocky either. How would it be in her best interest?
If a man say that,
I would.
Yeah. If a man came out in most cases and said that he wouldn't marry a woman, it is going to come off as manipulative and abusive, because men don't usually, in most cases, have anything to lose in marrying a woman. It's not like he's putting his life at risk. He's not putting his health at risk. He's not putting his happiness at risk. His career's not at risk. Like, nothing. His image isn't at risk by marrying a woman. But if a woman like Rihanna marries a man like ASAP Rocky, her image takes a hit. Her money could take a hit. He already, like, for a perfect example, ASAP Rocky just got hit with he just narrowly beat a gun charge in LA. Narrowly beat that shit, right? And I say narrowly because he was on trial. Like, just the fact that you're on trial, anything could happen. So it's always, to me, it's a coin toss, you know. Um, and that's the man that people, or that's the man that you're defending. Like, oh, if a man said that, yeah, all right, let's flip the tables around. When men do be saying shit like that, but they be saying it about women who allegedly slept with a bunch of people. That be y'all go-to, is like, oh, a woman that's promiscuous. Oh, he gonna marry her? Amber Rose? Oh, damn, that's crazy. That's the type of shit y'all be on. But God forbid a woman not marry a man who has shown that he is not trustworthy, that he makes dumb decisions by getting put on trial for over his ego, or whatever the case may be, whatever happened during that situation, right? Allegedly. That's ultimately what it came down to, that he would even be in that position. So yeah, she's $1 billion woman. She don't want to deal with no man like that. ASAP Rocky worth 10 million, 15 million, maybe. Rihanna worth fucking at least legitimately 500 million. Fuck all the inflated, my company worth. Rihanna worth 500 million. She got access to 500 M's. ASAP got access to 10, 15 maybe. Like y'all just be saying anything, man. Y'all are really in competition with women, but like I said, I know it's more nefarious than that. The reason why men say stuff like this, why men crash out on shit like this, is it's like men want to be able to get away with every single like form of abuse, every single form of manipulation. This is just another like form of manipulation. That's all it is. Basically, because if you think about it, if a woman has standards, right? If a woman says, well, I'm not going to marry the man, even if she want to be with him or whatever, I'm not going to risk my livelihood. Same shit men talk about all the time. I'm not going to lose half of my shit and da-da-da-da. Y'all say the same stupid shit. Men actually say way worse. But you can't have any woman thinking that they have any control over their lives. Women cannot believe that they have autonomy whatsoever.
So I better understand. Can
Yeah.
you further explain the whole, like, okay, when women say,
Yeah.
I hate men, all men suck, whatever it is,
Yeah.
you give them a bit of grace on that statement. But if a man says, I hate all women, or whatever it is,
Why do women
I give women all the grace when they say they hate men. I know women that are very close to me that say they hate men, and I believe them. Like, I believe them. They hate men. They're the best. Like, the coolest women are the ones who hate men in my lifetime. I don't know about y'all. The women who openly admit to like really having a disdain for men are the coolest women that I know. They straight up are. The women who are like, they be chasing men, the women who be like, not all men, can't trust them. I can't trust them.
what teaches women to be afraid of men
well, do
or
you
not
want
like
to
them?
answer my question?
Well, I will, but I think this is instructive. I think I'm going to answer your question.
So what's your question?
Well, my question is, why do you think women are afraid of men, or might express that as I hate men? Why?
Maybe, sure, either they've had a specific poor or bad incident with a particular man. They've heard from a friend that this person has had a bad experience. They have a society and culture that pushes forth certain messaging when it comes to this. Perhaps you might even agree with this. The news cycle basically has people on high alert all the time because they're just hyper focusing on these otherwise pretty rare occurrences, and it's just a constant flow of like, here's a terrorist attack, here's whatever it is.
So
here's
I mean,
a crime,
and from talking with the women in my lives, and at least from
He knows the truth. He knew the truth. He knows the answer. That's what I'm saying. Men are well aware. That's how you know it's a manipulation tactic. Men are well aware. We know exactly what's going on. You can listen to what he's saying. Oh, I believe that it's like, okay, so you can think that deeply about it, but you don't see what's really going on. Like, come on, bro. And also he's describing like, to me, he's describing like racist, how racist white people, how racist white people are propagandized. Oh, they see it on the news, these rare occurrences, so on and so forth. When they're talking about like non-black people, like non-white people, like immigrants and black people and things of that nature, right? It'll be like, you turn on the nightly news and it's a white woman got her purse snatched downtown LA by we don't know who, but what did the person look like? Oh, it was a 6 foot tall black man. Oh, okay. And out to Sally in the field out there in the High Valley. What's going on out there in the High Valley out there, Sally? Oh, well, tonight, Chuck, it looks like there's been 3 random robberies that have happened at jewelry stores and banks over the last 2 days. Oh yeah, and they have a suspect, I believe. They have a sketch of the suspect. Let's put it up, and it's it's a black man. He looks like he's about 5'8" and 190. Okay, cool, right? That's what it looks like. Okay, he's trying to say He's trying to say that when it comes to gender, that's what's being told. Like in our society on the news, women are being fed all of these like lies or one-offs about men, and it makes them, you know, afraid of men. But in the thing that I just described, when it came to racism, we know that crime essentially exists in every community. We know that drug use is about the same in white communities as they are in black communities, right? We know that robberies and that murder and that rape and that, you know what I'm saying? Well, actually, rape, the rate of rape is higher in white communities, whatever. But generally speaking, though, when you add up all the, you know, all the crime and whatnot, it's about the same in, you know what I mean? Like person for person, per capita, you know, whatever's about the same in every community, right? They make it seem like, oh, black people are more criminalistic, whatever. But the when you look at it from a gendered perspective, right? Whether it's a black man committing a crime or a white man committing a crime, it's still a fucking man. That's the point. It doesn't matter. So if women are just watching the news, that's even if you're a racist woman. If you're watching the news, you hear black man, black man, black man, Latino man, East Asian man, black man, white man, black man. Like that's what you hear over and over and over again. And then you go look at the numbers, and the numbers support that. The numbers say 98% of the time it's going to be a man in this country, 85% of the time if you're talking about violent crimes. That shit is undeniable. That's not propaganda. That's fucking reality.
What I've heard from women I've listened to, you know, these types of experiences, especially like, you know, unwanted sexual encounters or sexual assault or sexual harassment, are scarily common, like really common. Like it's like I'd encourage you guys, you know, to talk to the women in your life. Just
every woman I know personally, for the most part, I won't say everyone because I don't want to tell their story, but I've spoken to countless women that have told me that they were raped. I mean, almost everyone. Not SA, not like groped, or not just that. I'm saying flat out raped. Fathers, close friends, brothers, stepbrothers, teachers, scout leaders, things of that nature. That's who they were, most of them. Most of them were. Yeah. So that's a reality that women are living with. How are you going to tell them that they got that from the news or they got that from some you know source that exists outside of their their real world experiences? Here he goes, invalidating women's experiences.
like ask them, hey, have you had this type of experience? And it's like it's scarily common. So I think women's fear of men, and sometimes their what they express as hatred is a hatred with how they're being treated.
Sure. Yeah,
and I realize they're not being perfect with language, and one could argue that instead of saying I hate men, they should say I hate the way some men treat me. And
no, I'm okay with them saying they hate men. I think that that's fair. Like women have a legitimate reason to hate men. Like as a group, they do. They do. They have like I'm shocked. I'm shocked that women like be with men, and you know what I mean? Like sometimes I am. Like sometimes I'm shocked at how much women like men, considering how terrible the vast majority, if not every single man, was, and or will be. I'm shocked. Like that shows how much grace women give us. And that's why it's hard for me to disrespect women a lot of times, because I'm like, they're so strong. They're so, you know what I mean? Like they have so much empathy. It's like, why would you want to hurt people that only want to love you and only want to help you? That's where I'm at, like as a man right now. It's like, why, how are you actively trying to hurt people that only want to love you and only want to help you and only want to make your life better? It's pretty fucking deranged of us.
Totally understand that, look, I struggle with this a lot too. I'm a man. When you say you hate all men, I'm offended because I'm a member of that category. And I feel that you're somehow impugning me for the actions of this shitty guy that I had nothing to do with. But I think what happens is when we do that, we're focusing on tone policing women more, and we're making it about ourselves in a sense. We're saying like, I hear what instead of looking and listening to the message you're giving me, I'm going to immediately get on the defensive and make it about me. You know what I mean? So maybe actually, Brian, in an ideal world, you're right. Women in a perfect world, or like in a way where we're like, if I were to advise a woman, what should she say? She should say, I hate the way that some men treat me. But I think that as men, we should use our big brain reasoning ability to say that, look, okay, women say they hate men, and all those women who go to the women's marches that, Jim Bob thinks are facades, and say that, we hate men, blah, blah, blah. And then they go home to men in their lives, and then they go, have men in their life that they love. They don't actually hate men. What they're doing is they're expressing.
Hold on. They can hate men in general. They can. Just like white people hate black people in general, but we're still in close proximity with them in a lot of space. They hire us. LeBron, you think the motherfuckers that signed LeBron James check ain't racist? You think the owners that paid Colin Kaepernick weren't racist? You think the owners, you think the boxing committee and and the advertisers that were advertising, the Ali and Frazier Thriller in Manila, the Thriller in Manila fight, you think that they weren't racist? You think the military isn't racist? They'll gladly take black bodies to go fight in their wars. They'll promote them. They'll promote them to 5-star generals even. Still a racist institution. That means nothing. I don't care about that at all. I don't care if a woman has a man. She can still say, I hate men in general. Not every man. If she said, I hate all men and then had a man, I would be like, that's weird. But if she says, I hate men but not mine, I hate you motherfuckers, I totally understand that.
Type of discontent in, albeit probably imperfect language, in language that is less than optimal whatsoever at all. But I think fixating on this idea that like this is systemic hatred of men, just like it's really
I didn't make a claim it was systemic.
It's not my bad.
Can you repeat that?
Yeah. What specifically?
Their brains broke. Their brains broke. And this is exactly what Drew was talking about the other day. I know I shared this video with you guys, but it was too perfect not to share it right here. This is the perfect way to get out this video and close out this video. She said it perfectly.
The inherent fact that men are evil, that is true. Like man as a whole is evil. Like just as an entity, a general idea. Men have inflicted violence and oppression on the world in ways that are irreparable. Like, it's okay if we say that out loud. It's okay if we say that men are inherently evil. It's like, it's not all men, but for some reason, always a man. Every time something terrible happens, always a man, like 99% of the time. So I feel like it's a lot simpler than people may think. I don't hate my man, I hate most men. And for me, I think given what men have done to me personally, to people I love, and the world as a whole, if they all start guilty and have to work their way to innocent, it's not really a big deal to me. I feel very like convicted in that. It's very like, if you're not awful, prove it. Yeah. Quit talking about it and fucking do it. Because the men who complain that they really hate hearing like, oh, what about all men? Oh, all men, all men. A lot of this, not a lot of action.